can't believe I'm here, playing for my life tonight.
I can't believe I'm here, I made it, I'm playing for my life tonight. I'm a shining light. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm here. Playing for our life tonight. Yeah, I'm playing for our life tonight.
Boy, football is a funny sport. It's exciting, though. And I'm glad that the NFL is back. Welcome to Kingdom Driven Sports. I'm your host, Kevin. And I'm here to recap the Thursday night game between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills, which ended up being a lot closer than I thought it would be. It was actually an entertaining game, and I was glad that it was, because honestly, I thought it was going to end up in a blowout, given how Miami has been playing as of late. And was actually bummed when I heard that the matchup for tonight's game was going to be the Miami Dolphins and Buffalo Bills. Because again, I thought the Buffalo Bills would just run all over them. But lo and behold, here we are. It was a much closer game than we thought it would be, or I thought it would be. And Miami actually put up somewhat of a fight. Yes, they lost, but they didn't get embarrassed, which I think is a step in the right direction. They also ran into a very, very good Buffalo team, a Buffalo team that honestly is looking really good. And again, in that conversation of Super Bowl contenders, we'll see. Of course, there's still a lot of season to go through, so we'll see what happens. But Buffalo is looking like one of the better teams in the league. And for Miami to put up a decent fight and really try to go out and perform well, that was good to see. It was a much better game than I was anticipating, entertaining, and I found myself enjoying watching it. Tua, save for that very ugly interception at the end, had a pretty solid game. He seemed to be out there on a mission. He ended up with not very, eye-popping or phenomenal numbers, but you could tell he was out there trying to compete, trying to really will his team to victory. It didn't end up happening again. Really had that costly interception at the end, along with that roughing the kicker call that really hurt them because it gave Buffalo another chance, and they ended up taking advantage of that opportunity. But Tua, he finished 22 for 34, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, nothing to write home about. But again, it was more about seeing that desire to win, how he got hyped up when he threw, I think it was the second touchdown pass they showed him, and he was just fired up. So it was good to see that out of the Miami Dolphins. Devon Achane, he only had 62 yards, but it was on 12 carries, so that's a pretty good average. And I think he can be a really explosive player if he can get into space and make some people miss. There were a few times where it seemed like he had an opportunity to turn something into a big game, but it was, for lack of a better term, just went down too easily. And Tyreek Hill had a decent game. He had a touchdown in this game. Didn't go over 100 yards like he did last game, but he did have 5 receptions for 49 yards and made some key moves and showed flashes of being the Tyreek Hill that he's shown from a few years ago, and then, yeah, even from his time in Kansas City. But it was good to see Miami compete to make this a game. And even though, again, there was no victory champagne for them or a celebration for them, they at least competed. I know moral victories are of little comfort in losses, but I would at least look on the bright side in that I'm hoping this is a step in the right direction for them, that they're not just going to lay down and be the AFC East's punching bag this year, and that they're actually going to be putting up fights. So I was glad to see that. I was not surprised to see that Buffalo did what Buffalo does. 31 points. I know it's not like the 41 from the first week, but I think they've scored 30 last week and 31. That's a pretty good offensive showing. Josh Allen, and he's putting up MVP numbers again. He's had another 3 touchdowns in this game. Went 22 for 28. Only 213 yards. I read, I think earlier today, that there was an interview with Josh Allen or something along those lines, where one of the lessons he learned was that it's okay to be Clark Kent sometimes and not having to be Superman all the time. And so today, 3 touchdowns. It's kind of Superman-ish, but his total passing yards, 213. They were kind of pedestrian for him, but it's okay because he did what he had to help his team win. James Cook, 19 carries for 108 yards. I think he's one of the most underrated running backs in the league. He is an awesome running back, and I think he really helps open up that offense for the Buffalo Bills. And his ability to be patient and then go through the hole and make people miss is definitely something that the defense of the opposing team has to respect. And again, then that leads to the passing game of the offense being able to open things up as well. Dalton Kincaid, he had 5 receptions for 66 yards and a touchdown. He almost had 2. And it looked like he was going to grab his second one pretty quickly after his first one, but just ended up not being able to hang on to it. And so, yeah, I was glad to see that this game was a lot more competitive than what I initially thought it would be. I mean, if you haven't seen it, the press conference by Mike McDaniel at the end of the game this past Sunday, it was, I mean, he's been taking a lot of heat for that press conference, and rightfully so, because what he was saying really didn't make sense. It was like as if he was talking but not saying anything. And so I think he's feeling the pressure a little bit of the decline of success since he first got there. They started off doing well, making the playoffs, and now they've been on a decline that they haven't been able to get out of. And this 0-3 start is probably not going to help things. I think him, Brian Dable, there are 2 coaches that come to mind that are on the hot seat. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if people understand. I don't understand because I've not been one, but I can see, just seeing every year coaches get fired and the nature of the game. It's definitely a stressful job. And looking at Coach McDaniel and his face at times, I could see that the stress has worn him down, and it shows in his face. He wants to win so bad, but it also seems almost like he's weary. That's just my take on it, because again, if you just watch the coaching carousel that happens every year, and people know, especially those who know that they might be on the hot seat, you can almost feel the stress radiate from them sometimes. But I really hope that Miami can turn things around. That is a franchise with a rich and proud history, and it would be good to see them do well again. I know it's been tough sledding ever since Dan Marino left, but they had some flashes of greatness back when they had Ricky Williams, and they had a phenomenal running back who at the time was considered one of the best running backs in the league. I remember he and Priest Holmes, when the Chiefs and Dolphins would play each other, they would have these amazing matchups where each respective running back would run all over the opposing team's defense. So it'll be nice to see if Miami can turn things around. I don't know how the rest of this year is going to go for them. I do know the statistics say that if you start 0-3, the odds of you making the playoffs are very slim. So there is that, but again, 0-3 is bad, but it's not the end of the world if you can use it to motivate your team, yourself, to play better and to go play with the spirit of excellence, which is how we should do all things. Well, whether we're talking about players playing sports or people doing their jobs or raising kids or anything you do, you should always do with the spirit of excellence and as unto the Lord. And I think that's how we should approach life. But yeah, Miami, maybe they'll return to glory sometime in the near future. I don't know if there's going to be big changes coming their way. But for right now, the Buffalo Bills still reign as the kings of the AFC East. It looks like they're well on their way to a great start, 3-0 start, and headed towards another successful season. We'll see how it goes in the postseason. That has seemed to be their Achilles heel. But, with Josh Allen at the helm, you always have a chance. Anyways, those are my 2 cents on the Thursday night game, this Thursday night recap. I appreciate you joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful evening and know that God loves you so very much. In these dark days that we've been seeing, Jesus is still the light and he's still on the throne. And he truly is the one hope of the world. No government, no political figure, no one else, no celebrity is going to be able to fix the issues that we have or bring hope to people. Only Jesus. And I hope that if you don't know him, that you'll realize A, your need for him, and B, how much he wants to know you and wants to have a relationship with you. My friends, thanks for joining me for this bonus content of Kingdom Driven Sports. I hope you have a wonderful night. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one.